From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 17th, 2025. Negotiating teams from Israel and from terror group Hamas signed the ceasefire hostage release deal in Doha early this morning local time in Qatar. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office saying earlier that the Prime Minister has been updated by the negotiating team that agreements have been reached on a deal for the release of the hostages. The Israeli government convened today to approve the deal. The Prime Minister's office also saying that Netanyahu directed the coordinator for the hostages and the missing to coordinate the preparations to receive the hostages upon their return to Israel, and said the state of Israel is committed to achieving all of the objectives of the war, including the return of all of our hostages, the living and the deceased. Despite the delays, the Times of Israel cited the Prime Minister's office, saying that once the ceasefire deal has been approved by both the Security Cabinet and the full Cabinet and has gone into effect, the release of hostages can be carried out according to the planned outline, which would mean presumably on Sunday, when it is believed that 3 hostages will be released. This is part of the first phase of the ceasefire hostage release deal that would see the release of a total of 33 hostages over the course of 42 days. Children, women, female soldiers, the elderly, and the sick. It is believed that most of the 33 are alive, but it is not yet known which of them are alive and which are not. The 98 hostages who remain held captive by Hamas in Gaza have now been held for 469 days. Turning now to Australia, where yet again anti-Semitic vandalism was reported. This time, 2 cars set on fire and painted with anti-Jewish slogans in Sydney. The incident took place near the former home of a Jewish community leader in the area, and police who were investigating the incident as a hate crime said they were looking into whether this leader was targeted. And now to Canada, where police in Toronto are investigating 2 separate incidents at 2 related Jewish businesses as hate crimes. Last Friday, suspects broke into a commercial unit belonging to a kosher restaurant and catering company, spray painting anti-Semitic graffiti. Another break-in with damage and theft took place earlier this week at the restaurant itself. Friends of the Simon Wiesenthal Center for Holocaust Studies and the UJA Federation of Greater Toronto said they were deeply alarmed by the incidents. Local police saying we will not tolerate any form of hate crime. Well, several airlines said they would resume flights to and from Israel with the news of a ceasefire hostage release deal. Germany's Lufthansa Group, which includes 5 airlines, said it would resume flights to and from Israel on February the 1st, with other airlines who had suspended their flights to Israel saying now they are revisiting their policies. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, January the 17th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. Then Justin Pine speaks with Joanna Stern and Rabbi Danny Nevins on Jewish Insights. Devora Steinmetz is in the spotlight, and then David Harris speaks with Ayyan Hersi Ali. That is followed by a replay from the Hampton Synagogue, followed by a replay from Central Synagogue. And coming up next, it's a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, January the 17th, 2025. I'm Teisha Bader. I will be back with the news on Tuesday after Martin Luther King Day. Shabbat Shalom, Am Yisrael Chai.